hello everyone. Welcome back to a continuation of our video series on logical fallacies. Today we are going to tackle yet another one of those arguments called cyclical argument. And just as the name indicates it, it's really going to sound something like that, going rounds and rounds in terms of trying to prove your side of the argument, technically speaking. With us here in studio, of course, to unpack this, and someone who probably experienced this many times in his debates and arguments and talks with Muslims, possibly at speaker corners, is our dear brother, Dr. J. Smith. Welcome back, Dr. J.
Thank you so much. Yeah, this is an argument that in some ways is a very frustrating argument. It's a fallacy that is really unique to one particular area of the world. And coming Speaker's Corner is such a great melting pot of everybody. Anybody that comes to London, if you're a Muslim, they make their beeline to Speaker's Corner because it's so famous. It's the bastion of freedom of speech. And they just don't have these kind of corners in the Muslim world. They don't exist. Well, we don't even have them in America like they do in Britain. It's the only place where you can go. So many Sundays, there are more Muslims there than there are, well, there are always, especially in the afternoon, more than Muslims than anybody else. Certainly more than there are Christians. And when you sit and talk to different groups, you can see that there's going to be a different style of argumentation. When you come to an Arab from the Middle East, especially from the Middle East, they have this cyclical form of discussion. It's something like this. Okay, so Abdul, you believe that the Quran is the word of God. Where's your proof of that? Oh, because Muhammad says so. Muhammad points to it. I said, okay, so Muhammad is your authority. And where does he get his authority? From the Quran. Okay, so the Quran is the authority, but where does the Quran get his authority? From Muhammad? And it's just like a cycle. They just go around it. And I said, hold on, pull back. One is giving authority to the other. Do you not see this is a circle? Outside of Muhammad and outside of the Quran, where does the authority come from? There's no need for that. Muhammad and Quran, they're the two. They give each other. It's almost that they don't get it. They don't come. And if there's an Asian standing there, somebody from Pakistan, India, they will jump in and say, well, okay, that is a problem. We understand that. And they say, well, we go back to manuscript evidence, or they go back to the people who have referred to Muhammad in the 7th century. All these references of Muhammad. We're going to get into that in a future episode. And so they'll actually get and talk about the historical problem that is dealing here, but not the Arabs. And so this is something that's unique to that mindset. And I think we were just having discussion with this earlier, and I think some of that is because they are not really introduced to or taught critical thinking in their educational exercise, whereas people like from Pakistan, Bangladesh, or India, they have the English educational system because of the fact that all their education is in English. So they're aware that this is a problem. You cannot use the cyclical form of argument. That is a logical fallacy. And that's why, in some ways, it's only symptomatic to that one group. I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening with Malaysians or Indonesians or any others from North Africa. It's mainly a Middle Eastern problem, but we do need to be aware of it. And point this out. Just say, listen, that's just a cyclical argument. What outside of the Bible, outside of the Quran and Muhammad gives authority to either? You've got to give something that's outside, that looks in and say, yes, that is authoritative because A, B, and C. That is something that we need to pinpoint and we need to nip in the bud.
And that's what we're discovering now recently. If we go outside of the Islamic tradition, we discover that the origin of Islam is questionable. The sources of the Quran are questionable.
Right.
The person of Muhammad is questionable. The argument about Mecca was a prominent commercial center is questionable. And the list can go on and on and on because you're looking at outside sources that point in.
There you go. And we demand that because of historical precedents. We demand that because I can't sit there and give authority to myself. I have to have something outside of me that says I am authoritative. I have to have a degree that has been appointed by others who have given me that degree to show that I have done my work and that I am capable or authoritative or credible in when I can become an expert in whatever field I'm in. That's what we demand in Western context. We must demand the same of Islam.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Next time looks like we're going to be talking about something called false analogy, equivocation.
That's next.
Wonderful. Thank you, brother. Thank you, everyone. This is Fadi. God bless. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. and ring the bell so you will be notified when we release new content. Our mission is to reach Muslims with the gospel of Jesus Christ and help Christians engage with their Muslim neighbors. If you want to join us in this life-changing work, please support us on patreon.com/CIRA International, or just click on the link below.